Let's talk about self-driving cars because we want to know, are you into it? Would you do it? Yeah, I don't know. New survey says a lot of people not so comfortable with these self-driving cars. 15%, only 15% say they would be comfortable with those cars. They trusted robots more than the cars.
Sign me up.
Really?
I'm good with not
would.
driving. I don't know, Riley. It seems like you might have a
I
different
think you
opinion.
both know my answer.
Yes.
Me too.
No way either. Thank you. I will be driving myself or having somebody else drive for me, not a robot, not a cell. No, can't do it.
So here's the thing. So they surveyed these people and they showed the photo of a person and he was kind of sitting back, he was reading a book, he was sitting in the driver's seat.
Looking like he's having a great time.
Not engaged whatsoever in the driving. And when people see that image and they think, whoa, wait, this is not what I pictured a self-driving car to be. And I actually, we've done good questions about self-driving technology and where they are. And there is a psychological component to it. And the people who were making the self-driving cars were telling me that at least in the first ones, they're going to put a steering wheel in there. So people at least feel like they can stop the car if they need to, or turn the car if they need to, even if the steering wheel doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, I think it would be, if somebody said, okay, that you have to do this, you know, maybe in like a cornfield or something, I would be okay.
In a cornfield.
Yes.
Yeah, now that would be fine. However, however, if you get on a freeway, no, I'm out.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not surprised that most people don't feel super comfortable with it. I am surprised that it's only 15% of people who feel somewhat comfortable with it, because you think about what, you know, would 15% of people be comfortable going on an airplane where your pilot is probably sitting back and reading a book?
Right.
And
But so many
having it
people,
by
I think, are
itself?
curious about this stuff. I mean,
Right.
people who are techie and that sort of thing. I mean, it's fascinating to think about. I would probably watch. I would watch you do it. You know, I would be in the distance, be like, okay, there
Very
you go, good
nervously.
job. But I mean, it's fascinating to think about, and I could definitely see why people would, or you know, would be like, oh, I would at least want to try this.
Yeah. I think people just need to learn a little bit more about it. You know, they don't know much about it. They don't know the really kind of the safety issues that are there and how it all works. But I wonder if once they got over that initial hesitation, it really wouldn't take long. If this is really something that's going to happen in the next decade or so. But people said more comfortable that they would be with hotel check-in kiosks, passport control, home automation, and food delivery. So it seems like kind of more of like a safety issue, really, than anything else.
It does. I mean, then you have the jobs issue, right? It's like when you think about people who, whether you're a college kid or you need a part-time gig or whatever else, there are some perks to that as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's coming. The self-driving cars are coming. We'll just see how people react to it.
It's gonna be our kids' generation.
Right, exactly.